Hi, this is David Weekley with KoreanZ.com. Here we are at the EnGenius booth. Hi.
Hi, my name's Ed Jennings, and we have the longest range cordless phone and two-way radio in North America.
Now, this supports two-way radio. That's say if I have two units, I can talk between the two?
Yes, it's the only system that supports two-way radio independent of the base unit, handset to handset.
So can this work, say, between neighbors' houses, or can it only work within phones in the same system? That's to say, the same house.
No, we can take two handsets completely away from the base, go skiing, hiking, out in the country, and still have two-way radio communication.
How do you keep it secured to just the people you want to talk with?
Each handset is ID numbered by the base unit to let them know it's part of this group.
So it sounds like then you need a base unit to give an ID to the phone.
That's correct. And the range will support up to 12 floors in an office building, 250,000 square feet in a warehouse or retail store, and up to 3,000 acres in an open area such as a farm.
So this sounds more like for deployment to business than necessarily a replacement that a home user would need.
It's really designed for the small office, home office environment. 49% of our phones are sold into small businesses, another 30% into the home, and the rest for home offices.
But do they really need a 12-story range if they're just working at home?
You know, sometimes when you have a small business at home and you run down the street and you don't want to miss that important call.
This can't cover a whole block.
Oh, several blocks.
So does this phone cost a whole lot more than a regular 2.4 gigahertz phone?
It retails for $349 for the base handset, charger, nickel metal hydride battery, and recharges a battery in 80 minutes.
How long does the battery last?
Up to 3 hours of talk time and 40 hours of standby time.
So is this available today?
It's available today and has been on the market since October 1.
So how is it that your phone can talk so much further than regular 2.4 gigahertz phones? Does it just use more power or what?
We transmit more power. We transmit 4 times more power than 2.4 gigahertz phones. And we conserve battery life because we have a received signal strength indicator that constantly measures the signal strength and only transmits as much power as you need.
Now, does this operate in the 2.4 gigahertz range, though?
No, this is actually a 900 megahertz phone, but we boost the power a lot.
So, how come most other 900 megahertz manufacturers haven't decided to go with a high-power version to compete with the 2.4 gigahertz phones?
That's because most of the 900 megahertz phones utilize the Rockwell or Connexent chipset, which limits the amount of power that you can output. We worked with a semiconductor vendor in Silicon Valley to develop a semi-custom chipset that allows us to transmit more power using frequency hopping.
And is it encrypted?
We have 3 different levels of digital security, so it's very secure.
So you choose which level of security you want, or?
No, it's automatic. You automatically get assigned a ID number from the base unit, which shows that it's part of the system. It transmits digital 1s and 0s.
When you're in two-way radio mode, are you using FPRS or 900 megahertz?
It's still 900 megahertz.
So there isn't interference from this phone with other devices or with other phones? Because with such a great range, I would assume that if everyone in the neighborhood had one of these, they might start interfering with each other?
We actually did a test to find out how much interference there would be. We took a 20 by 30 foot room and we had 18 phones going at the same time. And it was when we introduced the next set of phones that we actually first started seeing interference. So the wider area, the more phones you can have without interference.
Well, right, but in an enclosed space, about 20 phones?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.